again.
Nobody makes me feel sad. Nobody does it.
Wouldn't you like to see your work published? You can just feel that love, right? So I'm going to talk about submittable. Submittable won't make you a better writer, but it will give you a tool to help keep track of a lot of your submissions and organize your submissions and payment and how well they are received. So what is submittable? Well, it's an online software program for keeping track of submissions on both ends of the submission process. And by that, I mean, whether you are the entity requesting the submissions, and there is a fee for that, or for our purposes, for authors who are doing submitting, in which case using Submittable is completely free. Now, it's not just for writers, but it's also for a whole bunch of creative people, photographers, artists, playwrights, internships, fellowships, residencies, and even grants. So all kinds of entities use Submittable. So I know Carol and Barbara, you're both artists, and there are lots of competitions for artists that you can find through Submittable. I'm going to talk about what it will do for us as authors. It's used again by both the individuals like ourselves and different organizations who are looking for publications, looking for people to give their grants to, or looking for grants to apply to, looking for contests and so forth, or want to apply to the contest. I'll show you how to get started and open an account, how to use the Discover feature to find all kinds of opportunities in your genre, use the filter and use tags, how to submit an entry, and we'll use a real-time example, how to pay if there is a payment required, how to track your submitted entries, filter those, modify, withdraw, and contact the entity that is doing the requesting if you want to. And if you are an organization that needs submissions, I'll show you how to request those submissions. We'll have a time for questions at the end, but also if you have a question while I'm on a particular topic, please unmute and ask me out loud rather than the chat feature, and interrupt me nice and loud so I will stop and hear your question and I can answer it right then. And at the end, I will send Anne a copy of this PowerPoint so she can distribute it to everyone. There are two ways to apply for a Submittable account: directly at the first online address here, or if you know of a contest that uses Submittable, or even if you don't know they use Submittable, maybe you just apply to a contest and partway through the application process, you find out that they are using Submittable to keep track of their entries. And during that application process, you will be required to open a Submittable account. And again, it's free. This is the screen that you'll see when you log on to open a Submittable account. Couldn't be simpler. You fill out 5 things and that's it, you're done. It's very easy. And once you've done that and you have an account, the next time you log on, you'll see this screen. Welcome back. Are you still all seeing my screen shares as I go through this? And
Yes,
okay.
we are.
Okay, good. Any questions so far? Okay. The other way, as I said, you can go to your contest website. For example, the Kansas Authors Club has just opened up their contest categories for submissions. So you would go to the Kansas Authors Club website. Then you would go to the contest submission section. You would fill in the blanks as required. And when you hit the submit button, it will take you to a screen that looks like this, the one we just saw. And again, you'll have to either open this brand new account with this screen, or you'll get a welcome back screen like we just saw. So either way, you know, it's just real easy. You put in two things, your email address, your password, you're done. It's very simple. And then after you submit your entry, you will receive 2 confirmation emails in your email account. And that it's instantaneous. It's, you know, just like that. One is from the organizer, and you will get an acknowledgement that they've received your contest entry. The second one is from Submittable, acknowledging your payment for that entry, if there is one. And I strongly, strongly suggest that you archive both of these 2 emails, because it's basically your only receipt that you've done this. Well, it's at least one receipt. And I'll show you what they look like. I did a screenshot from my email, and I eliminated all the surrounding stuff. And I sent in an entry to a magazine in Austin, Texas, and it's called Bat City Review, which I think is kind of a funny name. It's because Austin has all the bats. And it's from Submittable. And it says, "Hi, Ruth. This is the receipt for your payment of $5 to Bat City Review." And then it further says, "Please note your credit card statement will show payment to Submittable." So when I get my credit card, it won't say Bat City Review. It will say Submittable on Wednesday, April 7th, and for the amount of money that their entry fee was. So that's why I highlighted these 2 things. So you'll get these 2 emails as your confirmation, archive those. But I thought you said it was free if I was submitting. Well, the use of Submittable itself is free, but the contest originator may charge an entry fee for the contest itself. For example, Kansas Authors Club charges an entry fee, depending on whether you're a member or a non-member. But lots and lots of contests do not charge an entry fee, in which case you can submit stuff to your heart's content all day long and you will never have to pay a dime. Also, Submittable has no role in the contest judging. It's basically a glamorous Excel spreadsheet, is what it is. It just keeps track of stuff. It has nothing to do with the judging whatsoever. And so they emphasize, don't contact them if you have a question about your entry, but I'll show you how you can contact the organizer. So we're going to try an example in real time in just a minute. It's real time. Okay, let's say I want to enter my poem in, drum roll please, KAC's 2021 contest. So what I do, I first go to the KAC website. I find the contest tab, open it, find the category that I want, and I fill in the blanks, and then I hit submit. I will talk how to do this, and we'll do the real-time example here in a minute. First, I have to get out of screen share, and am I out of screen share?
No, you're not, but
There.
yeah, now you are.
Now I need to toggle to something else.
Okay,
And
you just go back into screen share. After
And
you,
I'm going to,
after you've toggled to where you want to go on your desktop.
yeah. Now I have, okay.
Okay. Now go back into screen share and make sure you identify the screen that you want.
Okay, are you seeing Kansas Authors Club?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm to the Kansas Authors Club webpage, and I can scroll down. There's a couple ways, but right now they have the contest as the very first item. So I'm going to click here to submit. Now, I don't know with screen share if it will go to the new screen or not.
We'll see. Looks like it did.
Okay, good. So you
Cool.
see Kansas Authors Club, and it's talking about this. Now, I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage everyone to read guidelines before you submit anything. And it will tell you if there are limitations. Is it only for certain ages, certain residency requirements? Is there a line limit? Some of the poems, there's a line limit of 40 lines. They want it in at least 12-point type and so forth. So read the guidelines. And now here we are with all the categories, right? So let's say I want to enter a free verse poem. Are you all watching this? Can you see this, Anne?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to enter one of my poems. So I'm going to, again, here's the guidelines. Look at those first. And it takes you to yet another website. You go through all these, see all the guidelines?
Mm-hmm.
There's lots and lots. So read those first. Okay. Let's see if I can go back. Hold on. Trying to go back.
What are you trying to go back to?
This. Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And now I'm ready to submit. So I meet the guidelines. I hit the submit button. And I scroll down. I type in the name of my poem. And the name is, what did I get the right category first of all? Free verse. Yes. My title is Letter to the Administrators. That's the name of the poem. My name. That's not my name. And because I've done this in Submittable so many times, it saves my data. So it's got my address, my phone number, my email. Now, this is a question unique to the Kansas Authors Club Submittable page. So I say District 1. Now I have to upload my file, and Submittable will only accept files in these formats. Fortunately, my poem is in the DOCX format. So I go over here, I click Choose Files, and it takes me to my documents and my writing, poetry ready to publish. And I go down here to Letter to the Administrators. Are you all seeing this?
Yep.
Okay, click on that, open. And it, voila, it moves that right into the file upload. There's my poem. And it will tell you, you have attached one file. You cannot attach any more files here. The payment, okay, because I'm a member, it automatically plugs in the amount that it's going to charge, which is $5. It comes down here, and I've only done one, so there's $5 fee. Now, because I've used Submittable before, and I get a screen, it says success. And you will receive updates on your submission account by email. You can also check its status at any time in your Submittable account. Okay, let's go to my Submittable account. Great. Are you seeing Ruth Moss, my submissions?
Yes, we are.
Okay. And we're going to talk about this. I have to keep moving this little screen. We are on this tab, the submissions tab. This is the default screen that will open when you submit something or you open your account, anytime you open your account. Now, as you can see, I've submitted a lot. When you're on the submissions tab, instead of a drop-down menu like Word has, this has a horizontal menu. And these are the features that you can activate or click on while you're on the submissions tab. So right now it defaults to active submissions. These are the ones, and here's the one I just sent in.
Already shows up. Awesome.
Already shows up and it says received. There's your acknowledgement. And it says which category, the date, and so forth. Now, if you scroll down, you will see I have a few in progress here. 8, in fact. The longest one is the New Yorker, which I optimistically sent in just so I can feel belittled when they reject it. But that's been submitted since last September. There is no fee for submitting to the New Yorker. So everybody and their brother submits, and they tell you right up front in the guidelines, it's going to take 6, 8, 9 months before we even get back to you. So just count on that. But they have received it. Now, some of the ones are in progress, and that means they've actually gotten to my entry and they are reviewing it. So that's a good sign. They didn't just reject it out of hand. Some of these, like this was not quite 2 months ago. The fact that it's still in progress gives me some hope that perhaps it's being considered, because most of these contests have to move through several layers of screeners before they get to the final judge. So hopefully my entry, which was a chapbook actually, made it through the preliminary stage, and maybe it's in an intermediate stage and is still being reviewed. So that's good. These others were received and so forth. So this is the active tab, right?
Okay.
If you want to look at declined, we have plenty under that tab, starting with some recent ones. I just got one recently, but look at all of these declined. They go way back. They go back to 2016, 44 declines.
You're a brave soul, Ruth.
I never accept defeat. I just keep plunging ahead. And we'll go to the accepted page and look at nothing has been accepted through Submittable, but that's okay. I'm still out there slugging. So we've looked at and withdrawn is another category. Now I have 4 that are withdrawn over different times. And the reason I did this, I sent them out to contests. And then in the meantime, my book got accepted for publication. And you have to notify, or it's good etiquette, they request that you notify them if, instead of making them jump through the hoops of reading something that's already going to be published, it's just good etiquette to go and withdraw that poem from these other contests because they were going to appear in the book. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. Yes.
Okay. So these were withdrawn, and I'll show you how to do that. And then saved drafts, I'll show you what that means I'll show you what I have now. Their due dates, and some of them have expired. Some of them that I saved were contests that have already expired, so I'm going to delete that. You want to delete the saved drafts? Yes. And so forth. So I can go through and clean that up later. But like Bread Loaves Writers Conference, well, that expired 2 days ago. So I need to check this more often. Collaborations is a feature that they are going to have soon. They don't have in place yet. So let's go back on this submissions menu to all submissions. Now we get everything.
I have a
Everything.
question.
Sure.
What do you mean by saved drafts?
I will get to that in a minute, so hold that thought. Right now, we're still under the submissions tab. Your question will be answered when I get to the next tab, the Discover tab, okay? So submissions, right now we're on this all submissions, and it's got everything I ever sent in and all the declined and all the withdrawn. See down here, it's got withdrawn. They are also color coded, so that helps you to pick them out. But it's just easier if you go to the active ones and just keep in mind the ones that are active right now. Any questions about these? Oh, one more. So you've got every single submission you've ever used Submittable for on here. Many organizations do not use Submittable for their contests. So let's say I send in some to another organization, which I have done, that doesn't use Submittable. And I don't want to be going back and forth to a couple different places to keep track of my poems. So what I can do is create a universal submission. It's got a form here. So I would enter the title, the name of the organization that I sent it to, their website, the date of the submission, any notes I want to say for myself, and then hit the button, create an entry. And it will tell me the status. Well, actually, I have to tell it the status. Did I send it? Received, in progress, accepted, withdrawn. So somebody else will notify me of the status, but I can come in here and plug it into my submissions. And then I only have to go one place for all of my submissions, the submittables and the non-submittables. Is this making sense?
Yes.
So, okay. Any questions about the submissions tab? Oh, and also sort by date. We can also sort by the oldest to the newest, which is what I usually do, or title or so forth, which is pretty self-explanatory. Okay. And you can find, there's a search feature too. So I wanted to find the New Yorker because I submit so many. And there it is. It pulls it right up. Okay. So we're back on the submissions tab. We're back to the active tab. This is my default screen when I hit submissions. Any questions about submissions? Okay, the next tab is Discover. Wait, one more thing. This little question mark up here, this is the Help tab. And you can click on that. And you've got a lot of answers, FAQs, how do you create an account, what's this, lots of things. And if you need help with something else, you can actually write them. And I have used this, and they are very good about getting back to you. So they've got a nice little help button there. Okay. And then this is the icon when your account is open. This is where I would log out when I'm ready to, my account. Okay, that's the submissions tab. The Discover tab is very important. And I gotta move this icon. Okay, now this is the screen that opens up by default when you hit Discover. This lets you look at hundreds, if not thousands, of opportunities that are looking for submissions that use Submittable. And again, we have a sideways menu for the Discover tab, not a horizontal menu, not a vertical menu. So most of the time, this is the default screen. It will start with entities that don't have any deadline, they're just ongoing. And you can click on them, and then it starts with the ones that have a deadline, starting with today. And you can see this contest ends in 23 minutes and so forth, ends in an hour. And this is the name of the entity seeking the submission. This is what they want you to submit. So if you have a manuscript, click on this. I don't know anything about this entity, but let's say I wanted to save it. So this was your question about saving, but it's only going to end in an hour. So let's go to another one that ends. Let's say I'm on my way out the door, but maybe tomorrow I'll have time. So we'll scroll down and okay, these are some contests that end on Monday. Okay, and look, we have an art contest. Ooh, for you artists. We have fiction and poetry. And none of these right here require an entry fee. When it does require an entry fee, that it's plainly listed right here as to how much it is. So let's say, I don't know what the Murphy and Cadogan awards are, and I don't know what the guidelines are, but let's just say I'll save it. So I hit save. Now it's marked as saved. Then when I go back, here we go. Now it's going to tell me a little bit what it is. Complete these applications and so forth. Okay. When I go back to my submissions page, and hit saved, should have some of these saved ones. No, these are saved drafts. These aren't saved entries. Let's go discover again. Back to discover. Okay. So basically you don't have to look through every single one every time. This one is a draft, and that's why it's under the saved drafts. Okay. Any questions about this so far? If you want to change the date, you jump to right over here. There's a little calendar. And, oh, you want to work on something by June 15th. These are things that expire June 15th. So you got a whole bunch more. And you can just scroll through these. Like I said, there are hundreds, if not thousands. Oh, look, Kansas Authors Club, poetry, adult theme. And I've saved that. Okay. So now I did talk to Tracy. Tracy had only tagged one of the categories for the Kansas Authors Club. That's why, you know, there's like, I don't know, 10 or 12 categories for their contest. Normally, if she tagged them, there would be like 10 or 12 different entries here under Kansas Authors Club, because you would have to enter each one individually. But Tracy only tagged this one category, if that makes sense. Okay. So you can filter these by the ones you're following, which is if you've marked any of them that, like Kansas Authors Club, you can go through and mark them. I want to know when the New Yorker is opening up more contests or whatever. This is a really good one, no fee. Oh, nothing comes up. And the reason is you haven't hit clear filters. This is an extremely important button right here. Hit clear filters. Now you can click on no fee. And now it will sort. It'll go back to today's date and it will start, and see there aren't any fees on any of these. You've got tons and tons of no fee possibilities there. You can sort by deadlines, which is what it normally sorts by. You can sort by no deadlines, obviously. It's pretty self-explanatory. Some of these are ongoing, but clear the filters again. This is the big one right here, tags. And when you click on that, look at what opens up. All kinds of categories. Poetry. You want to just sort by poetry. Now it's picked out for you, just the poetry ones. And now I don't have to scroll through all the playwriting ones and the art ones and the internship ones. I just have poetry contests, some of which have a fee, some of which don't. If you want to further filter it, no fee poetry. Now we have poetry with no fees. Is this making sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's clear our filters. Go back to tags. They have some interesting categories on here. There's one called tequila, which I still haven't figured out right there. Doesn't have anything under it.
Tequila?
I checked. That's right. Well, it has one, and I'm not quite sure. They just want money. They just want money. So we'll clear our filters. And we'll jump back to deadlines, which is the sort of the default one. Now, if you want to go about it the other way, clear the filters, and you want to look for Kansas Authors Club. See if they have any contests. Well, there it is. It pops right up. So you can do it in reverse in the search blank right up here. And click clear filters. Jan, I was going to tell you submishmash is one of the categories in this. I saw it the other day. So you can, I don't know where it is right now, but it's one of these. You just have to look for it. So see if you just want to enter things about memoirs, journalism, performance, environmental, all kinds of things, grants. See what grants we've got. There's people that have grants, want you to apply for them, arts grants and so forth. So it's pretty comprehensive. Clear the filters. And again, you've got your help button up here if you need help. So any questions about Discover? Did I answer your question about the saved? I hope so. Okay. I am going to, let's see, then the next tab is the saved tab right here. And oh, there's the saved ones. These are different ones that I've saved. So that way I don't have to scroll through, 900 entries to find the ones that I really want to work on. So you just go up to the saved tab and there you click on that and it will pop out your saved ones. And then the ones you're following, like I said, I don't have any entries in that, but you can if you want to find somebody that you want to follow. Okay, so you've got basically these 4 tabs up here. This is your default. And active, that's default. Active submissions is your default. Any questions on this? Okay. I am going to stop screen share and go back to the PowerPoint. I need screen share again, Ann.
You got it.
Okay,
I never took it away.
okay. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to repeat what I just showed you in real time. This is using the submissions tab. I would suggest that you bookmark this site. And when I send you the PowerPoint show, you'll get all of this notes. Again, this is the default screen that opens up when you open your account. It's the submissions tab. Under the Discover feature, you will click on the Discover tab, and that opens up this screen, which is the Discover opportunities. Brings this up, which we saw. We talked about the saved feature. Click on the saved tab, and it brings up the saved screen with your green saved items here. And we talked about tags and filters. These are both part of the Discover tab screen. There's the tag button. There's the filter button. And that's what it brings up when you click on tag, this big menu. And very, very important, the clear filters button, as I said before. That's right there. And I can't emphasize that enough. If you don't clear filters, it's going to go screwy on you. So just keep doing that. We talked about the help feature, which is the question mark icon there. And like if you want to withdraw something or you want to contact the contest organizer, you click directly on that item on the submitted page. The screen will open and you use the message feature. Here's what I mean. You would click directly on letter to the administrators, and then this screen will open. This is Bat City, me talking to Bat City, and I took a screenshot of that. This is basically the acknowledgement email that they sent me. But if you want to withdraw your entry, this is where you do it. You click on withdraw. You can download. There is a message box. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get out of this and go to submittable account again. Okay, so if I wanted to click on letter to the administrators, and there was the email that I just got, but if I wanted to make a message, there aren't any. If I want to write them a note, I can add a note here. So I get to say, hi, Tracy, you know, I misspelled a word in this poem. Can I change it? And you can send it to them. So that's how you contact contest organizer. All right. We'll go back. Here's how you write the note. Back down here. I'm going to get out of this screen and back in.
Are you wanting to share your screen on that again, Ruth, then, or what?
I'm going to PowerPoint again.
Okay, okay.
Am I in screen share?
Not right now.
You don't need.
Nope. We didn't see what you just did then. I didn't know if you intended for us to or not.
Okay. Oh, you didn't see,
No, I
see,
didn't, we didn't see you emailing if that's what you did.
did you see where the message section was?
I don't
the-
know.
And the note section?
I think we briefly saw that. Yeah, I think.
Do you want me to repeat it or did you all
No,
see?
that's okay.
Okay. Okay, do you see the PowerPoint again?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We did see that earlier,
Okay.
that screen.
And as I said, not all contests use Submittable for receiving their entries, so you won't find them under the Discover feature, but you can enter those on your Submittable account by using the Create Universal Submissions that we talked about. And it looks like this, and we showed you that screen. And now we get to the other side of the feature, which is what if you are organizing a contest and you want to use Submittable to keep track of all the hundreds of people that are going to submit to your contest, and you want to keep track of all the money they send in. Well, for contest management, you go to this address, and basically they will ask you a series of questions. What kind of company are you? What do you want to do? And then they will give you a quote of what they charge for your contest. So each one is a little different. But here's what Tracy said about KAC's use of Submittable. As an organization, Kansas Authors Club, we pay an annual fee to Submittable. We get half price because we're nonprofit. And when we charge for entries, such as the adult contest, we pay 99 cents plus 5% of that total. There is no charge when we do not charge a fee. It feels like a solid number, but I tried out cheaper options before we committed to Submittable, and none of them worked as smoothly. I also like that the setup is flexible so that we've been able to use Submittable for convention registrations. So again, when you sign up to go to the KAC convention, you'll be doing it through Submittable. It is one of the options I am contemplating for tracking KAC memberships. I liked Submittable so much that I bought a subscription for Meadowlark too, though I'm using a much lower level of the plan. I wish I had the bells and whistles that the KAC plan has. I would be completely content if I had not gotten spoiled by the KAC setup first. So I would suggest if you have more questions about initiating a contest, talk to Tracy, because I'm just not that familiar with this side of things. Are there any questions? Anything we've discussed?
If you've got questions, you can unmute and ask Ruth. Feel free.
I have a comment. At the very beginning, Ruth, when you started, I was on my end trying to follow along on the web. So I went to what I thought was submittable.com, and I wasn't seeing the same thing that you saw, and I discovered that I was in Submittables with an S, and it took me to a totally different website. So it has to be, to follow what you just taught us, it has to be singular, submittable.com.
Yes, and that's why I told you to bookmark the address that I gave you in my presentation, because that will take you directly to this side of Submittable, which is the submissions, the author side, as opposed to the organizational side. So I think that's very helpful.
So what is the difference, I wonder?
Well, if you just, which I did, if you just go to submittable.com, it comes up to the side where you're an organization.
Okay.
And I bookmarked what I needed a long, long time ago, so I have it saved and I just go to my bookmarks when I need it. But that's why I suggested, please bookmark the site. So you won't get led down the other path on the other end of Submittable, because they want to put the side where they make money first. If that makes sense. They are going to only make money when they have an organization that is operating a contest. So that's what comes up on their website first.
Sure.
For all the rest of us, bookmark the address I sent, and then you never need to look for it again.
Okay.
Any more questions?
All right.
Well, I hope this made some sense. Hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned some things. It's time to start submitting, everybody. Good luck.